some of the stuff that we're going to talk about here is just the kind of the relationship between brands and content creators. So I think we'll start with you, Sam.
What I want to see from creators is people coming to me and saying, well, you know, this is who we are, this is what our audience want, and this is what I want to do with your brand, and having kind of that clarity.
Within an agency, I work across like a number of brands. So the biggest thing I'm looking for is whether a creator aligns with the key message of that brand. So if you're a content creator, you're putting out content that reflects an ethos or a message. That's what I'm really looking for. Authenticity is the most important.
We basically receive pitches from production companies, so you're working well with people that you feel understand you and also know how to speak our language. Then you can get your ideas in front of us. But I also think having an idea of where you see yourself, if that's on a broadcaster's channel, if that's 4.0, if it's elsewhere, reaching out to commissioners and also developing those individual relationships yourself, and I think that's always really important.
You have no idea how much attitude gets you so much more of a long way. Just like, you know, I want to work with someone who I know is polite, someone who I know like is respectful of the space they're in.
If you see people around like making an effort to say hi if you're on set, you know, taking a moment to speak to commissioners and then put time in, and I think that's always a great way to build.
What we look at when we're looking at creators and working with them is, do they have love for the brand? Like, do we kind of see them authentically wearing our brand? Do we see them kind of showing love to the brand? And that's where a lot of like our long-term relationships have started from.
Any partnership, there's a level of compromise. You know, we are a business, we're looking to sell our products. Equally, you're looking to get paid and to create a relationship, working together to create something brilliant. I think the key thing though is never compromising on your authenticity when it comes to your values and who you stand for.
It's super important to be really engaged and really present in conversations from the very beginning, to kind of be able to insert yourself into the conversation. I think you'd be surprised at how many ideas you're probably being attached to on decks that are being sent around at all times, and that's just like a part of the game. But get under the bonnet of it as soon as you can and figure out like, where can I kind of bring myself into this. Sometimes it can be hard to like decode these things because, you know, a brand isn't going to come up to you and say up front, oh yeah, we need a sixth person for this campaign and we need a black creator, like get involved. You know, if something feels impersonal or feels transactional in the way that it's being presented to you, I think, you know, good to query that. I think as well, beyond that, look at what the brand or the publisher or the broadcaster are doing in that space. You know, it's going to come down to intuition at the end of the day, but does that feel like a space and that you're going to feel comfortable in and well represented in, or does it not?
If you feel like someone's approached you and it does feel like a tick box exercise, a red flag from the jump, you could ask those questions of like, okay, cool, we're going to work on this, but then how does that look for the next one? How does that look for the future? And how does that look over the next few months? And that will kind of give you an idea that longevity has always been there.
You know, as black creators, I think you should always question how you're being portrayed. When there's diversity for the sake of representation, it can come across a bit tokenistic. So if they're leading with your blackness, you should always question that, because that means it most likely is a tick box exercise. But if they're leading with you, if they're leading with, you know, who you are, the content you create, then most likely they're doing it out of empowerment.
I think as well, you know, who else is in the room? Representation is really important throughout, and I think a lot of ways people try and kind of cheat it is by just focusing on, you know, where the eyeballs go. But I think if you're having those conversations, you get the chance to kind of see more broadly who's involved in that conversation, and I think that's always really insightful.
What does a successful collaboration look like from you, Sam?
I'd say long-term partnerships.
I think value in every direction. So for the creator, for the audience, for the brand, for the broadcaster, everyone should win.
I think community and collaboration.
Value and empowerment, I think.
Cheers. Yeah, there we go.